Hello and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us tonight for the Cookout Podcast, where we talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling, baby.
I always love the energy on the intros. Nobody has the Sammy energy on the intros.
And tonight,
Sammy, can
We are
you
back.
say I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew?
uh, I had a Mountain Dew yesterday, actually. My buddy brought it over, but
I had a
other than
Mohawk.
that,
I
I
had to
have been
stay on my
drinking sodas.
Okay, because you
Well,
giving Ricky Bobby sons.
once again, we're gathered here on a Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern
And
for
it
the
feels all
cookout.
right.
This, it's as we all know, it's Black History Month.
Mhm.
So we were going to take this time to discuss the past, the present, and the future of um, Black people in the history or in wrestling, I guess. Um, the impact they've had, and where we're at, the state of, I guess, equality or lack thereof still, or however we want to address whatever your opinion is.
Uh,
Um,
One thing we can do is state entertainers that we appreciate.
Entertainers that we appreciate. Okay,
Mhm.
that's one thing we could definitely do.
Uh,
two or
I can
60.
start. I got one that popped in my head just now that I'm like, yeah.
All right, go ahead. So we can have an
Shelton
idea of what you're
Benjamin's
talking about.
mama.
Shelton Benjamin's mama.
hmm
All
Get that
right.
off right off the cuff.
So for those that don't know, explain what
Uh,
reference that has to anything as far as wrestling goes.
oh man, she was like the most entertaining thing on Raw for like 2 weeks for me. I don't know about y'all, but I loved it.
So she was an actress
hmm
hired to play Shelton Benjamin's mother because Vince thought the stereotype was funny about black men being mama's boys, which is hilarious given what
She did an
Vince
amazing
did
job.
with his own mother.
hmm
But like always, we make lemons into lemonade,
hmm
make chicken into chicken salad.
At the
Oh,
risk of putting a spotlight on the obvious, being the two people of color on this panel at the moment, uh, what do you what are your guys' opening thoughts just about the current state of where we're at as far as um, what we're seeing on our TV? Is it better, worse than it was? Is it equal to what it was? Are we progressing? I mean, what are we doing? Where are we at?
People of color, where do people of color at?
Sorry,
I see
the
two
two black
black
women,
women,
the two black women on the screen. How's that? There you go.
but I don't see people like we're not gonna do that.
All
Like
right, the
we're
two
not gonna
black
do
women
that.
on the screen.
Look,
Um,
yeah. Look,
Anika,
correct.
you want to go first?
All right. Baseline. Like, how can it not get any worse than what it was in the 90s or 80s? Had to learn. So we're definitely better. Women wise, I'll speak for me personally. I am quite satisfied. I am quite satisfied with seeing myself on television. I have personal, like, it's crazy that now I have choices and I have to rank them, and I have a personal favorite. So like off the bat, Naomi, she will all be my favorite. Bianca, she's second because I just love the energy. And then you get to this new one, Queen Amanada, that just came. It literally so she came out of nowhere, and I love that she's getting the spotlight on her, and hopefully they'll push her to the moon and stars. And then Jade, who I see great things. I'm gonna let it play out. Like, side note, if for people who didn't watch Wall, spoiler alert, she's not in the elimination chamber, and they're like, okay, I get it a little bit because you don't want her to get pinned. So I'm like, okay, you don't want her to get pinned, so I'm gonna be even though the face off between her and Bianca in the elimination chamber would be worth this winning gold. But again, I let it play out, which is I think another thing that I'm happy about is that storylines you can actually let them play out. You don't have to worry about the which call it behind the scenes back of your head. Why are y'all not pushing their? Why is this not happening? Now, I ain't gonna say for everyone. I ain't gonna say for everyone it's the same thing. But at least for 2 out of 5, I don't have that thing behind my head of why aren't y'all being pushed? What's going on? So as of right now, female wrestlers, I am satisfied.
No.
No. And you shouldn't be.
For the simple fact of, while you may see yourself reflected, you'll see a Southern Black woman who reflects me in wrestling, and that's perfectly fine because not everybody is going to be reflected in wrestling. However, I am very much aware of the fact that there has been one company that has been consistent in pushing Black women and giving us the opportunities we deserve. And now the man who was kind of the force behind that and who listened to the women behind that is gone. He's no longer in the wrestling space. I am appreciative.
Can you just real quick, for those that don't know, just for some of the layman people, can we try to specify, just explain and use names when we can, just so people know exactly what we're talking
So
about?
Scott D'Amore and TNA, back in the day, you had like Kira Hogan, you had your Awesome Khan, you had these Black dominant women who had stereotypes, but took those stereotypes and flipped them on their head and could be dominant, could be like sexy, could be like really appealing. And I loved it. They could wrestle the men, they could wrestle the women. They were like Savannah Evans, they were like Tasha Steeles. You had those folks who were interesting and dynamic in their stories. But that was in TNA. Everywhere else, it was the same old shit. Naomi has not been acknowledged as the first female FCW winner, like women's champion. She got screwed out of her like competition of NXT. If you go back, you can see them purposely manipulating shit to be done. And it was just like really frustrating to me to be watching that and be like, oh, here we go. Then on ROH, you have like Athena, you have Nyla Rose, you have Naminata, you have Trisha Dora, you have folks who have been built up. And I appreciate that, but I want that also on mainstream AEW. At the same time, I don't, because some of these fans in AEW are so prejudiced. If I say the R word, then they could flag this video. So they are so prejudiced because of race. They do all these things and they say all these things. And if you're not with WWE, then you ain't ish. Like I feel some type of way about the fact that when the former Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, literally was pissed off and was talking with Naomi and they decided to leave, Michael Cole hopped his happy ass up there and was a company man. And the apology has never been publicly made to Naomi because she's there. We have these stories and rumors about Sasha throwing a temper tantrum, Sasha doing this, Sasha doing that. And the only two people I can think of that have ever really said Sasha Banks behind the scenes was a horrible human being was Kira Hogan and Tasha Steeles, because they had their issues with her. Those are the only two people I can think of who have said that she was not professional and not good and she did stuff like that. But the narrative continued, and when you ask for proof, it's, well, such and such said, but then you're saying such and such, Dave Meltzer isn't accurate, Sean Ross Sapp isn't accurate when it comes to like everything else. And for those who are going or who have like the $15 to pay for the Ashe show this weekend, yes, I know I still owe y'all a recap. Apologies, this courtesy shit has been killing me. I'm old now, so it's kick ass.
You is not old.
Ashe is having another show, and something that bugged me today.
Can you tell listeners what Ashe is first?
Ashe is a primarily Black wrestling company out of Charlotte. They are having their second show this weekend, this Saturday, and It starts off with like a musical performance for like an hour, and then you move into the wrestling. It is a great show. If you can make it, make it. If you are not able to, it's $15 streaming live. I'm planning on streaming it because I'm probably not even gonna make it be a week by that time. So it is what it is. Yeah, I know it's during Collision. Y'all may see me, y'all might not. It is what it is. I'm getting at that point now. I love the first show. It was really interesting. It was really dynamic. There were a bunch of people up there I didn't know. Had heard about some of them, had looked up some of them. And it's like For the Culture, which is GCW's annual WrestleMania event that is primarily Black wrestlers. I don't know all these people. I didn't know who Darius Lockhart was, didn't know who Darius Carter was, didn't know who Sonny Kiss was, didn't know who Brian Keith was. All these people have been on For the Culture. I looked up their stuff after I found out who they were. Today, Ice Cube's son popped his happy ass on Chris Van Vliet and was like, well, when it comes to AEW, I need vignettes, I need X, Y, and Z. Which, yes, they could do better, but to say that they don't have it means that you're not watching the product. Because you had Dark Elevation, they have the vignettes on AEW television quite often. Then they put it on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all their social media. So if you are actively going out of your way to miss that information, you're going out of your way to miss it. I say all of that to say, when it comes to Black wrestlers, for a lot of them, word doesn't get out unless it's on social media. Jay Malachi, the new Javon Evans, I think, in WWE, has been wrestling in Greensboro for a while. You wouldn't know that if you don't look at social media, not because people don't promote him, but because a lot of Black talents get overlooked. They can be better than most of these folks out here. They don't care. Look at what Vince told Keith Lee. Oh, you need to go back and learn how to wrestle a big man. You need to learn how to talk black. What's talking black, Vince? Vince, you literally suspended somebody for telling you to wait until your daughter has walked past. And if it had not been for Dave Bautista, you would have fired that man. Never mind that Titus O'Neil has been one of your most upstanding people. Man was dating or is dating Yolanda Adams. You don't get more wholesome than Titus O'Neil.
Thank you.
You don't fire him for telling you to be a Southern gentleman. The fuck? You never gave Shelton Benjamin a fair shot. If he outperformed, he could have a broken foot and outperform half the people that you pushed.
I can't believe he was never world champion.
You sit here, R-Truth is 52 years old and could outperform the other half of the people who Shelton Benjamin couldn't outperform.
And side note, let's be very clear, because I'm very glad that Luke Owen caught this, because I didn't even see it. Talking about R-Truth been there since 2000. No, did it be since 2000. Don't discredit his TNA run like that, because that was probably the best part of his career. He debuted in 2000. Y'all let him go. He went somewhere and flourished, and then he came back.
Man's an NWA champion. One of like 2 or 3. That wasn't acknowledged. They let freaking the Pope D'Angelo Gennaro go. And that man, he was, what was he, Elijah Burke, something like that.
Elijah Burke.
He went over there and they gave him a mic. And they were like, and it stops.
Great.
But WWE doesn't give us the opportunities. Everybody's like, oh, Kofi faded 11 years. This man had to deal with Randy Orton's nasty ass getting upset because he outshone him. And now he don't get opportunities. Farouk, Ron Simmons, I thought.
That's WCW.
Definitely WCW, but was it WCW and NWA?
Another thing I want to say about Shelton Benjamin, I was watching his interview with Chris Van Vliet a while back, and CVV asked him, "When did you know you were winning the Intercontinental Championship?" And he responded with, "When Jericho didn't kick out."
Yeah.
How do you perform like that? I mean, in one way, you can just like leave it all out there, when the other way is like, but that was Vince, because like I think Jericho said the same thing. He didn't know that he was winning both titles until he overheard Vince talking to Taker, talking about, it's going down the drain when we're putting the belts on you. I'm like, what? Sir, communicate, please.
Can we bring it back though? Taboo Tuesday / Cyber Sunday, where the fans vote for what matchup they want. Like, yeah, we want a steel cage. Yeah, we want this to be your tag team partner.
What do you want to say about?
I thought that was fun.
In
I enjoyed voting for it.
Wait. Hold the hell on. Hold on. Wait. Pause. Hold up.
I'm waiting a minute.
So WWE not only lied about R-Truth's tenure, but effectively erased him becoming the first Black NWA champion.
How can you do that?
During that time, it was 2002 when he won that belt.
Oh, by saying that he was with yeah. People stupid. People stupid. And it's such an easy fix. And it's like, all you really could have said was he first debuted in 2000, which is still an accomplishment. You don't have to say he stuck with y'all throughout the whole time, because TNA is not dead.
Unless you are The Rock, anything you do outside of WWE does not count as being in the canon.
Well,
we really just has WWE done anything new for Black History Month?
Well, okay.
Because they usually run the same old, same tired MLK quotes that they cherry pick.
It wasn't Black History Month, and I'm a little, screw it. I'm offended, because what they did was, it wasn't focused on Black History Month. They're like, we're going to represent all minorities. No. It's Black History Month. Everyone has a month now. February is ours. So I want to see some straight up ninjas and nothing but ninjas. Okay, I can have biracial ninjas. I can have female ninjas. I can have Black ninjas. I can have Native American and African American ninjas. But what I want to see in February is ninjas. Y'all can go about your business with the social injustice about everyone else, but give me February. Give me February. It's the shortest month of the year. So at least you can do is focus on this.
Just a couple of years ago, like we were getting matches with people, but like they were losing anytime they were having a match in February. Like
now I remember.
Like every single one, that. Like you go through the entire month and you would not have a single Black person win a match.
So WWE. You mean to tell me the same promotion that gave us that promo from Triple H?
Oh yeah.
Erased R-Truth, tried to erase R-Truth's NWA win, and hasn't done anything. Even CHK has done shit for Black History Month. They've been running a bunch of different things on the YouTube and then showing it on like AEW proper, putting it on their social media. That's how we found out a whole lot about Queen Aminata before she got signed or whatever. So you mean to tell me the most popular company in North America,
Bearcat.
Is that where it came from? Is that where it came from? The suggestion came from?
I don't think
Dolores,
so.
Dolores has suggested some recognition for Black wrestlers. Because in all honesty, being that I kind of realized that, I hadn't seen anything from WWE about Black History Month, I was perfectly and given how people cherry pick shit from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I was quite content to not do Black wrestlers this year because it's just very, very tiring to be a Black wrestling fan and to go into spaces and deal with bullshit from people who look like they married their mom and daddy, sister, uncle, cousin, twice removed, but up one generation. Like, it's very tiring. It's like everybody knows my favorite wrestler is Big Swole. Not just because of her wrestling ability, which I admire, but her abilities elsewhere, how she's overcome things, the fact that she will genuinely take out time to speak to fans and is very supportive and very vocal about wanting more for her husband.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I love about the moment Ron Simmons won was the kid who ran down to the front, and you just see him jumping in celebration. It's like, yes, that's a feel-good moment.
Why
you feel the passion that the kid has.
why is Cedric not pushed? Why is he always in a tag team?
Say it again. Because
Why-
you went in and
why-
out.
Why is Cedric not pushed?
My
don't know what
guess,
happened.
they
Because
probably see him as being too small. They see him as being a cruiserweight. And if you're not Rey Mysterio, you don't really get pushed.
for me, I have to come with the grips of, even though I'm not paying attention, people aren't paying attention. I go to like the Divas era, right? And they're like, "What? Who was part of the Divas era?" I'm like, "No, I remember the women, even though they only got 10 minutes. That was the segment I paid attention to." And then like with Black wrestlers, like, well, they didn't get enough shine. I paid attention to it, and I had to realize that even though I paid attention to it, my eyes count, but it will count if there are more eyes looking at him, especially the higher ups. Like with Shelton, I was going to Shelton, right? I didn't know that he was in the Cruiserweight Challenge, and I'm very glad you sent me that video. Cause I'm like, so that's why he's so great. Goodness gracious, people don't need to be in charge of creative. But I digress. But I remember when he was a janitor and Roman needed a partner and he chose the janitor, but he was in disguise, but he just started doing these crazy behind flips. And it's like, what? They lost, which is stupid, because why would you have a surprise person who can do wrestling and still lose? That don't make no sense. But he still showed out and showed up. And then thank God pandemic era happened. And I say that because they actually
They had to use him.
Exactly. It was part of that thing. You had to just throw stuff on the wall, and then finally, I see him more, and you have the Hurt Business. And I remember when it was him and Ricochet going against the Hurt Business. He's like, "F this, I'm gonna join them," and they had that fantastic multi-man match, and then everybody was in the outside, and then Cedric and Ricochet had this face off, and I'm like, okay, here's the start of it, but. Then I think they did one match and it was over, but then we digressed. Her business was all right. Then they broke up sporadically for whatever reason, and then they tried to do Shelton and Alexander together. It didn't work because people are booty and creative, and then you don't see him for a while. He tried to do it by himself, but again, people are booty, and then
Was
Dragon
it
Lee
A-Flight?
Say it again.
Was it A-Flight?
What do you mean?
His tag team with Ricochet.
No. I don't know if they had an actual name, but I just know they were together.
I think it was for like a week.
And then Mustafa came back for like 3 weeks, and then I think Mustafa got injured again.
Like, okay, let's do the Cruiserweight back. And it's like, no, okay, fine. And then Dragon Lee became the not Cruiserweight. He became the North American champion, but I called the Cruiserweight division because I did love that beautiful month where he just let Dragon Lee go off, and he went off with Cedric twice, and it's like, okay, all right, let's build it up. But then you see him not there anymore, and then they drop the belt off of Dragon, and it's like, I remember all of this, and all of this is important to me. I just really needed to be important to creative, to higher ups. I think again, Russell Talk said it best. Building someone up is not the issue. It's actually capitalizing on the momentum after the big match has been lost. Because no, if you're new, you're not supposed to win, but still capitalize. Still keep it in the public eye. Let them win after they lost the big match to get them maybe next year or a couple of months, and they freaking come back and finally win it. It's not rocket science. It's not. And so now they have this little video where they're gonna do this stupid this what you call it, this Twitter 5-minute show called Speed. I need y'all to do a different name because that sounds like y'all doing drugs. But they had Cedric and someone else promote it, and hopefully probably it's going to be another mini cruiserweight championship. But hopefully it'll another push. Hopefully, but like you said, we've seen it. They have it. Just do more.
So here's my question to all three of you on a bigger picture scale. WWE has been basically at the top of the pecking order in the wrestling world for a long time. And we know that the head of that company is severely prejudiced, or was. I'm sorry, that the former head of that company was severely prejudiced. Do you think that it will be any different with Endeavor being in charge and them having a board of directors as far as more equal representation now that Vince is gone?
No.
And that kind of more traditional thinking is gone, or hopefully gone? No.
I'm not sure.
As long as Paul Levesque is there, you can say whatever you want to say about Paul Levesque. That mentality is still there. Mm-hmm. And I'm hopeful that once all these things start clearing out and motherfuckers start paying attention to what people have been saying, say whatever you want to say about Ryback. But Ryback has called them out for years with facts, evidence, proof, timeline. Then nobody want to listen to Ryback. And now that it's all coming out, everybody want to back. But I digress. If they cannot make money off their top person, then it's not going to work. And in all honesty, I do not think that most of these major companies, with the exception of like TNA, know how to book a Black main character in a way that is not a stereotype.
Like, so I have two things. Number one, I kept saying female wrestlers, right? Because I have in WWE, they have a couple. But with the male wrestlers, all we have is New Day. I'm a little perturbed about that because I'm like, who is the next upcoming African-American Black wrestler in WWE?
Well, you got Carmelo and Trick.
We do.
Well, yeah, but Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Up and coming is more so the objective. And
Montez Ford.
I mean, don't pay attention to the fact you can count them on two hands. I mean,
Montez Ford is not going to be a single star. I can go ahead and say that. If they were intending to make him a single star, they would have mentioned his album that he released. Although, to be fair, part of that is because of the Top Dollar connection. You have Ashanti Theodonis that should have been pushed.
I'm glad you said that. That was the promo for Speed. It was Cedric Alexander and Adonis. They were both together promoting that. But
they
yeah.
marketed. Apologies. This is my last point before I stop.
No, you good.
They market the Usos as being Black, but they not. I'm gonna go ahead and say those are Samoans. They have no Black in them. Please stop telling us that they're Black. They are not Black. You know who's Black? Sol Roca is half Black, but we don't mention that, now do we? The Samoans have a urban culture in America.
That part.
They are not Black.
They're allies. We love them. They love us.
Rock about how his family treated him when he was growing up and have him tell the truth like he used to.
Well,
They love us.
they
but
love
don't
us.
love us.
But yeah, very, very well noted. And that's on the part of the whole racial inequality. Nah, because all melanin is not our melanin. I'm gonna just say it. It's Black History Month. When I can't say it, no offense, but I digress. But yeah, I guess for me, let's go to AEW, right? And we have Swerve, who's on the up and coming. And I see how they're treating Swerve. And I'm being cautious because it is going so well. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't see that for a male Black wrestler in WWE. For Carmelo, yes, NXT was cool, but I go to Royal Rumble, and maybe that's because y'all put too much of him on SmackDown with the pop. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I want that in WWE. And I want it sooner than later because I don't want it in 11 years like Kofi. I don't want it in 5 years like Bobby, and it takes a whole pandemic for you to put the belt on him. I want it now.
I do have hope though, because during that Carmelo match on SmackDown, when Trick came out, that crowd pop was fantastic. Like, Trick has never been on the main roster before, but the entire crowd, the entire live crowd, knew who he was and knew what chant to say.
Real quick, I appreciate Booker T for putting his stank on his theme song because before Whoop That Trick and the whole little ad libs, it was a nice theme song, but it don't go hard until you hit the whoop track. Okay.
The only person that can really mess up Swerve's push is Swerve himself with his own actions on social media and being a dumbass and messing up his core base. That's the only way it's gonna get messed up. Because fans do enjoy Trick. Not Trick, look, they do enjoy Trick, but they also enjoy Swerve. And I think here's another thing that I really need wrestling fans to stop doing when it comes to Black wrestlers. Please stop trying to tell them to go back to a place that is not good for their mental health. And it's not good for them overall. Because as much as I don't like Swerve, him saying, I did not want to go back to WWE because I did not feel appreciated. I did not feel like my opinion was valued. And this is under Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
This Triple H.
It was also under Shawn Michaels too.
But I say Shawn Michaels because if you listen to the Chris Van Vliet interview, he said him and Shawn were viewing tapes, and Shawn was like, "Oh, this is why we're not using you. Let's find out how you can shine." And he says that under Shawn, not Triple H, that's why I'm being very, 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 very descriptive. He was like, Shawn put me in a position where I can shine and do better. That's why I say
still under Shawn Michaels, he did not get the push that he could have had or he should have had before he went up to the main roster. And they put him with Hero, which should, in theory, have worked if people know how to book people correctly, because they booked the rest of Hit Row as heels and like Swerve as a face, and am I the only one who thought that didn't work? Like, make them all one thing or make them all another.
The whole time I was like, well, actually, what I said was, one of them's going to get put back in NXT, one of them's going to get fired, but Swerve's going to be fine.
I will say this because that whole...
I know it's right, but Swerve was the one who got fired, so...
Well, all the guys got fired. Well, everybody got fired.
No. B-Fab's still on there. Adonis is still on there.
No.
Originally, did get fired,
originally.
Right?
And then they brought him back.
Oh, but yeah. But no,
none of them got pushed back to NXT though, which quite surprising.
Yet.
Oh, yet.
They're also not really being used. I mean,
Who?
Well, they
Hello.
now.
BFAB.
Well, she's with Bobby
Right.
in street business, so hopefully that'll be great. But that I'm not even gonna front. That main event the main roster call up is
It just fucked everything up.
it's truly confusing to me. I'm like, what?
Why? Why did you do this?
Swerve was the only one ready for the main
It didn't
roster,
work.
and
It
they were
seemed like they
basically
should've
trying to put
hit
everything on
Swerve.
his shoulders of, you can carry the rest of them.
No. I think they were all ready, but
You
for
think so?
some reason, yes. But for some reason, when it got to the main roster, they deviated from the plan, which is Swerve is in control. The other Adonis and Top Dollar tag teams, and Be Fast, the manager, but you can get rowdy with it. When it got to the main event, it felt like, oh, Top Dollar's the big dude. We're gonna make him the leader. It's like, no, he's not. That's why it worked in NXT because how
if you were
was
going to do that, if you were going to do that, they should have done like he's doing in TNA, and have it be because he's the financial backer. So he's calling the shots because he has the money and he can manipulate the situations. If that's the way they were going to do it, they should have leaned into who he is outside of wrestling, not the comical stuff that they did,
or be real basic.
Not ignoring like the Michael Cole kind of feud. Like Michael Cole has given us 2 good feuds with Bailey and Top Dollar, and they really haven't done anything with either one of them.
And I'm glad you explained that to me because I was getting mad, and I was questioning what was going on. And I am glad that you were saying that it was supposed to lead to a match, but they said, but still,
I was on the F Michael Cole. Michael Cole ain't straight.
Thank you. I'm like, what are we doing? But it was supposed to actually have a proper blow off, and then.
Another thing, they kept on putting Swerve and Top Dollar as a tag team in matches instead of.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of when they're NXT and it was Swerve being the singles guy, Adonis, and that's what I'm saying.
They could. I
don't know why.
As the singles.
Like, and that's why I give HBK a little bit more grace because for some reason they don't connect when it's time to bring them up to the main roster, which is stupid. I don't know when they stop connecting where it's like, okay, here's his character. You ain't got to do jack. Just bring him to SmackDown or WWE. For some reason, they're like, no, what they were doing NXT wasn't working. We're just going to change everything, or at least 75% of it. And it's like, no, there's a plan. We gave him a pamphlet. So it's like,
that's what happened. They got Adam Rose.
Oh Lord,
it works. It works at NXT. It gets you over, and then you get on the main roster and you get outshone by the bunny.
So here's a question for you guys. We've had AEW for 5 years now. This is what, year 6?
Yeah.
Have they done a better job at being inclusive than WWE as being like the second major, promotion in the United States?
Not the black folks.
It's not year 6, unless you're counting the first All In.
Okay, so year 5.
AKA Swole. That will always be to their detriment. That will always be the reason why it's still even Stevens. And the thing that's on ROH is she's not on the main roster. Because
I don't want Athena on AEW television for the simple fact of where would they put her? I don't want her losing to Tony. Damn sure don't want her losing to Julia.
And that's the thing, though, because in my world, if you put her in the main roster, why would she not beat Athena? I mean, why would she not beat Tony? Why would she not beat Julia? But y'all don't want to do that.
You have Deonna Purrazzo. You're about to have Mercedes. Oh, I'm not a Mercedes Moné fan. I'm not a real Kiera Hogan fan. Love that. Think they are talented women, but their personal things piss me the fuck off. Tony Khan, Tony Antoine Khan, whatever the name is. I am speaking directly to you. You do not book Mercedes versus Kiera. You let someone else book that. Because I swear to you, Tony, if you fuck up this feud that has been brewing for years and have a blow off match and nothing comes of that feud, Tony, you have wasted your motherfucking money. Apologies for if we when we make monetization, this is gonna be a demonetized video because Tony Khan, if you fuck up the feud that has been a real life feud for years, because you could not get your premium yayo, allegedly, fuck you. You have a ready-made feud for Mercedes that she can come into the door with. That when Kiera needs to be pushed up higher, you got that ready there. And when these two women are at the top of their game and they are just about to do some amazing shit, but somebody might need a break or something, you have at least 3 matches that you can get out of that feud, Tony. You better not book that shit. You better let somebody else book that shit, Tony.
Don't Athena and Jaded, where it's only a 4-minute freaking match on the freaking pay-per-view.
You better let Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston book that the way they book their feud. Because I swear to you, Tony. If you think I can rush you now on Twitter.
That is exactly it though. Those two, like you have Mercedes play by ear with Bryan Danielson and have her play by ear with Eddie. That's the match we want to see. That is it.
Yeah.
Do you think in this day and age it's necessary to have an Asahi or a major, like a mainstream that's on TV that's only black wrestlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because who
Why
else
not?
wants to book us? We just had the conversation of besides TNA and NWA for a long period of time until Smashing Pumpkins came over.
Oh! Shout out Moose, by the way.
Moose.
Forever TNA champion.
Who said fucking people? I'm forever the TNA champion. But without those two promotions, everyone else sucked at booking this. ROH for a time too with Shane Taylor.
I want more for Shane. I just met him and I love him. Like when Keith Lee gets better, y'all come together with Lee Moriarty
You gotta
the
go
fire.
back. You gotta go back and watch like the Pretty Boy Killers, cause girl, I was like,
Big boys doing flippy things. Not many things, flippy things.
had my heart flipping.
Well, I can't let us go this entire podcast without talking about CDR. Cody Devontae Rhodes.
No, we're not doing
chicken
it.
ready.
We're not doing it.
No? Okay.
I can't. I love Cody. I love cracking jokes. I love saying he ended racism. But this man is a white Latino. He a white Latino man. That promo that he cut and then beat Anthony Ogogo, that really pissed me off because I was like, y'all couldn't just let Anthony get that one win.
No.
This man done re-signed his contract with AEW and we ain't seen him since he had that loss.
Like, who proofread it? You had to have. I know in Rolls to the Top, they said that he passed it by Brandy. I don't think he passed the whole thing. I think he did half of it, or she lied to you. I didn't.
You know what? Cody's counsel of people, he's not a good judge of people. Because he went to The Rock and was like, hey, Rock, what should I do? Oh, I should give you my match? Okay, I'll do that. Hey,
Can y'all
and other black people that I may know, like Jade and or Ricky Starks, hey, I'm gonna give this promo about how I'm gonna end racism with my seed. I am Curtis Parsons Rhodes with the most white trash. Like, oh, motherfucker. This man, if you don't know tell me if you don't know what that like tattoo on his neck is, what you would think that is.
Just some good old boys.
Tell me you don't think that that's what that is. Cause
Just some good old boys.
I had to do the whole Cody.
I think we properly went through it, and to everyone watching, you're welcome.
Maybe he's a Dukes of Hazzard fan.
Fuck John Snyder.
Yeah.
Fuck John Snyder with Vince McMahon's white dildo. Not even good. White. But Cody, I mean, we did also kind of adopt Dusty. And Dusty, for the most part, has not been in the racism as much as, Ric Flair. Trevor, what Murdoch was it? Dick Murdoch? Because if we have enough time, folks, if you have time, look up Dick Murdoch and the shit he was doing, invite black folks to Klan meetings and shit.
You idiot!
Look, y'all Georgia people love a good flag, a good scam, a good horribly built like driving system. Y'all like I don't understand y'all.
Because how it take 30 minutes to get from point A to point B, and it's only a 10-minute walk.
How it take 30 minutes
there
to
twice.
get from one block of Atlanta to the next block of Atlanta?
Got a helicopter some places.
Is that why y'all have those flag tattoos so y'all can
Y'all gonna force Dolores to come up here dragging her city like this.
Dolores, the next time, Dolores, it's our love because Anita's from Florida. You got people in Europe. Girl, I won't gonna say nothing, but Sis was over here like, and I got me effect like this. Blue don't do it. It's ratchet as fuck here. It's ratchet as fuck. It's
North Carolina.
But it's gotten worse. It's gotten way worse. Even Bojangles is going down. Like that. Now you really got to go to Cookout all the time. Oh Jesus!
I love where I live.
You have to have those types of things because, unfortunately, a lot of black wrestlers, it's easy to give accusations to us. It's not so easy for things to be wiped away. So, like I'm gonna say it with the Velveteen Dream, a lot of people jumped on him because he was the next big thing, but he was also a black man. So it was easy for a lot of white fans to turn on him and believe the allegations, which may or may not be true, but no one's going to the police about it. And I maintain if he was messing with little white boys, wouldn't you go to the police?
Oh, he would be under the jail. It wouldn't have been no, yeah.
He ain't got no Enzo song about his consensual, But it's easy to give him that label and like push him off the side of the road. But Marty Scurll is still wrestling. JD McDonough is still there.
Yeah. No, Hulk Hogan's still around. I mean,
BJP is around.
I didn't know JD McDonough did anything.
He has some interesting things. Twitter is a hell of a thing.
Them Brits, I'm sorry. But as soon as like y'all get like for y'all not to have no teeth, y'all be getting down with the nasty. I'm just saying. No offense.
JD McDonough was not gay. really need to get that sound synced.
No, it's fine as long as she's on air. She's got it down pat.
Yeah, but it's like when she's not, and then like the move that she does. I'm scared one of these days she's gonna hit herself in the face and knock herself out. Alika, there's been a time or two. You and Dolores both have come very close to knocking yourself out, and I'm just over here like I don't know what to do. She knocks herself out.
Just go black, and then and mute me until you see me come back up. That's all.
Like, I need to be able to like call somebody because like what if you got a traumatic brain injury because you hit yourself in the head with your titty? Like how do I explain that? Oh, we had to cut off abruptly because my co-host hit herself in the head with the titty.
No. You just say I hit myself in the head. You do not to the blunt object. You need that you put that in disclosure.
What were we talking about?
Well, them knocking themselves upside the head with the titty.
I meant before that.
Allegedly.
Oh.
And then before that, we were talking about the importance of having a
all black
place.
Promotion.
Damn, Blue.
Oh.
Having like a black, like having a black company, because think about during the pandemic as well, the writer who got fired for saying she doesn't even know who Bobby Lashley is, and then it came out most of these wrestlers, like these wrestling writers, don't know who the black wrestlers are, or don't know who any of the wrestlers are.
Right.
They
don't know anything about wrestling, right?
Yeah.
They made a big thing about her. And I was just like,
yeah, because you can't tell
have
me.
Any of the other writers come out and said that they don't know who the major stars are?
They did.
Well, they're smart.
They did? Well, that should
Some
be
of them
news too.
have. And it's very obvious because of how they were writing for them.
Freddie Prinze Jr. did a pretty good job in his writing.
I didn't even know that he was writing. That was a great surprise to me. In the era he was writing for, I'm like, oh, okay.
He knew the people and he cared, and he actually worked with them to improve their acting, to make them better, not just give them what to say, but how to say it. Like,
he's a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Let wrestling fans write wrestling. Let them book wrestling, unless they're Tony Khan.
Which wrestling fans?
I'm excited for Freddie Prinze Jr. to start his
fans.
promotion. Whenever and wherever that's going to be, I'm going to tune into the debut. Just let me know when that debut is.
But to answer the wise man's question of should it be an all-black promotion on mainstream, why not? We've had Lucha Underground, we've had New Japan, we've had Stardom. So why not? And you can't tell me we can't have a good old time. You can't tell me that it's not going to be entertaining. It's nothing.
I mean, none of those promotions are all just one, like.
But the basis of it is.
Fair enough.
Do you think it directly undermines the concept of integration?
I think integration is very, very important for any promotion if you want it to succeed.
Well, again, I go to New Japan, right? Yes, you have your your three Musketeers being of Asian persuasion,
yes.
but then you also have Osprey, and then you also have the War Dogs. Why not? We can't do the same thing. Our three Musketeers are African American, but we'll let you. But if you can get down, you come in and have a good old time. And if you're the best, we will be fair. But why can't we start baseline all black?
But also back in the day, you had your Bruiser Brodies, you had your Andre the Giants, your Hulk Hogan's, your Vaders, like your Eddie Guerrero. Like New Japan has had great foreign talent.
Yes, all invited, but their baseline was Japan. So why can't we have our baseline African American? And if y'all want to have some fun and come over because you think it's popping, then come on over.
That sounds good
I mean,
to
does
me.
it matter that it's a different country? I mean, is it a country doing its own thing as opposed to a particular group of people inside of a country?
Well, then I
I
go to
mean,
the
it's not like it's a particular section of Asian people that live in Japan that have started New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? I mean, it's a Japanese promotion for a Japanese country, right? I mean, it's for the country of Japan. I mean,
well, then I go to Lucha Underground, who did the same thing,
San
and you had,
Diego.
and then you had Chelsea Green, who was in there. I'm like, what? And then you had a
Black Lotus Triad.
Swerve being a kill shot.
But you also had Prince Puma from like the very beginning, and that's Ricochet.
mhm.
So,
Yeah.
and yes, so the thing is, yes, New Japan has had black champions. Yes, New Japan has had a lot of overseas talent. But like Anika's saying, your baseline, the stories that were written primarily were for the Japanese audience. It was not for the American audience. It became more for the American audience because more and more wrestling fans wanted wrestling, not sports entertainment. And New Japan gave it to us. When it goes to integration, I'm gonna spin it back to you, ALW. Before integration happened, how many black businesses were thriving?
Probably not many at all.
That's a damn lie. We had in Winston-Salem up the road, we had like the best busing system that outpaced everything else. Before integration happened, we had our own. A lot of places thrived. After integration, that all kind of fell apart. If you're talking about true integration, you have to have people who know how to write stories for your black wrestlers and not just have us be a stereotype or afterthought. If you're talking about the integration that the United States has done, no. You're talking about something that is true and actual and wants us included, that's a different story. I find it very ironic that you can write things for everyone else except for black folks.
Makes sense.
I mean, Blue, I ain't gonna be the one to say it because people get upset when I say it. But
Nobody's upset. Well, nobody's upset at all.
no,
No, that's
you
about
don't.
Oh.
social media. People who be like, cut what she said and said, we're integration is, she said integration is wrong. Bang, bang, bang. I'm sorry.
Oh, it ain't Southerners, baby. It's very rarely Southerners. It's mostly Yankees and folks out California way that feel some type of way when you present things. But yeah,
Shout out Bob Sapp as well. IWGP Heavyweight Champion Bob Sapp.
yeah,
Yeah.
Dolores put that up there.
Oh, she put Bob Sapp up there?
Yeah,
Yep,
hold
yep,
on.
yep.
Hold on.
Way
There we
earlier,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Say it again.
There we go. That was like her second one after R-Truth. That's what made me think like Ron Simmons. Yo, we really want to get into that? Beast mode. They actually gave him the opportunity to be himself.
Leo
Oh,
Rush is the national treasure. Wherever he wants to go, let him do his thing. Even if it's for a little bit of time, let him do his thing, and then pray that he comes back.
all right. Chris Bay, like when he goes to AEW or WWE, like that is a star waiting to happen. Like,
I both want him to go and don't want him to go because I really fear how they are going to book him. Even in TNA, it took him a minute to find his footing. But he is so fucking talented. He's so talented. I don't want him to go to AEW or WWE and become Like, just another statistic. I don't want that. I think my heart might legitimately break if he goes to either one of them. And
Do you think he has a better chance at one than the other at thriving?
no, not
Um,
not unless somebody is booking better. You know what? If he goes to ROH, I think he has a really good chance of being booked better.
but also, I would say the same about NXT. ROH and NXT, I think, would both.
I don't know. Because by the time he makes it back, Wesley will be over there. So they'll be competing for the Black Championship or the North American Championship, as you see.
And I
Yeah.
was such a big fan of Wesley in Lucha Underground.
Wesley wasn't in Lucha Underground.
Are you sure about that?
Wesley?
Well,
I
that
don't
wasn't
think
his
so.
name, but
Yeah, I don't think he was.
I think he missed Lucha Underground, or if he was in Lucha Underground, it was for like 1 or 2 shows towards
Yeah, I don't
the
remember
end.
him being in Lucha Underground. But I have this poses Dolores' statement here just made me have an interesting thought in my head. Just want to. Indies are great for black wrestlers, so the question becomes: is that the only place that they're allowed to be great? Is that why? I mean, why are they great in the indies but not? Why are we not seeing that translate to the major promotions and the major companies
Because
if
in the
they're
indies,
thriving
they
and
don't
great in
have
the indies?
writers. In the indies, they don't have writers, they just have bookers.
I Googled it. He made his debut under the name Desmond X, defeating Paul London for one of the 7 ancient Aztec medallions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then it must have just
He
been for a
wasn't there
short
for that
minute.
long.
Yeah.
No, but
It was towards
he
the
came
end.
in and instantly got the push, beating Paul London, getting one of the 7 medallions to challenge for the.
Yeah, but he wasn't there for that long. Like in Lucha Underground, you need at least half a season to fully make an impact, unless you're the Black Lotus Triad and you coming in and you snapping up Pizza's arms and shit.
Well, he made an impact for me because that was the first time I saw him, and then when I saw him in Impact, I was like, "Oh, that's him! Oh man, he's great."
Yeah, Michael Oku is definitely on fire. Shout out to Gabe Kidd too, by the way, because Gabe Kidd is just looking for him an African queen. But yeah, indies can't afford to overlook true talent, which is why GCW kind of got known for pushing black talent when it came to For the Culture. And yeah, that's put on a late spot, but even if you didn't have like regular fans, you had wrestlers there, and the wrestlers will be in the audience marking the fuck out watching these folks. Like if you go back and you look at For the Culture, like the previous ones, you see, I think I saw John Moxley. I've seen a few wrestlers in the back, and they're just like, oh shit. Like, oh shit. Like being true wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So, assuming that we're probably not anywhere or getting an all black promotion mainstream anytime soon, do you think that other companies should follow GCW's suit and have pay-per-views that are potentially just all black wrestlers? Should WWE or AEW? I mean, I don't know that they even have enough on their rosters,
If
but if they
you
do,
don't know
should they?
how to book them,
Then
no.
no.
WWE, I don't see that happening.
Shit, you can't even get another all women's wrestling, like an all women's.
Exactly.
I could see AEW doing a TV special night that they do on the Saturdays, like the Battle of the Belts. I could definitely see Tony booking one of them. I'm just saying, I can definitely see Tony being like, let's do this.
Too Cold Scorpio can still motherfucking go better than a lot of boys in AEW and WWE combined. Fuck what you heard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anything else?
I don't want Tony to book it again. Don't want Tony to book it. Someone else can book that, but I think the show would be really good. Tony, give people your money, Tony. Just let people have it.
Tony doesn't let anybody else book. I mean,
he let Bryan Danielson book, but I think he's also scared of Bryan Danielson. So
a little bit. But yeah, with anything involving the culture, any culture, but we're Black History Month, our culture, we want it done right. Which means No pandering. Don't be superficial with it. Don't be cheesy. Like, just let it be let it be the correct vibe. And like you said, if you don't know the vibe, don't act like you do, and hire someone to write the show for you. If we're ever going to do this,
Makes sense.
Like that's a good point. Like you can't do it like too heavy-handed because then it like kind of counteracts the point you're trying to make.
cheesy, condescending, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Cringe.
Yeah.
Cody-esque. Yeah.
So, unless anyone else has anything else they want to say on this topic, we can go ahead and CM can give us our clown of the week, and we can get up out of here.
All right.
I am hopeful for the future. I see many great talents, and with appropriate pushing and people in management to see, oh, these are amazing talents. We need to push these people. Your Chris Bays, your Tricks, and of course, if you don't see the talent in Swerve, you're blind. Like, I have hopes for the future.
Trick Williams, not Tricks. I saw your
Sorry,
face.
I was on a roll.
After I got my giggle out, I was gonna let that go.
My bad.
No, you're great.
You got it. Clown of the week is very simple. Once again, go the fuck away, Phil. Go the fuck away. We don't care about you. Stay away, Phil. Stop pandering. Stop pandering.
Like, you hurt. Why are you here? This is not nowhere near Chicago, and you're hurt. Go out. Like, rehab.
The rumors are starting already, Phil.
Can we get Big E on commentary? Like, if we can't have him wrestle, can we put him on SmackDown on commentary to have a baby face to balance out the two heels we got? Because
No.
you guys want to keep it two heels on SmackDown? It's rough for me.
Well, you really think that? So could you really think CM Punk is going to be a baby face?
I said Big E.
Big E.
Big E.
Yes.
Because he did great at the press conference, and it's like, yes, okay.
Speaking of Big E, if you haven't already, if you're on our YouTube, please check out Our Heroes Rock, which was something that Big E voice acted in, as well as he donated, he helped fundraise. It is a new spin. The first one is a new spin on the Ruby Bridges story. It is a story about friendship. It is very, very good. Please take a moment to check that out. It is so good. Phil, go the fuck away.
Big E, come back.
Big E, come back, please.
When you're ready.
If it is safe for you to travel and do those things, please come back.
Mm-hmm.
We won't take you in a non-wrestling role. We just want you, please.
Yeah. Osei Jackson Jr., shut the fuck up.
What did he say?
He was the one that was talking about AEW needs to do vignettes and stuff, and it's like, you're a WWE mark. You obviously are not watching AEW. Well, if I have to research and find out about the person,
it's not research. It's freaking watch a show.
Maybe it's just me, but if I find something, a person, a show, something that I enjoy, and I don't necessarily know a lot about it, I Google.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I find out about new music. That's how I find out about new wrestlers. That's how I find shit out.
We've had this discussion before. Anika's been on the other side of that with several people where they haven't taken their time in companies to show us who so and so is, and I agree. Sometimes they don't. It just depends on the person. Sometimes they give you too much, and sometimes they don't give you any. And it's like, I'm not sure why or when they decide to do what.
But Anika also admits that she doesn't watch every show, and sometimes you gotta watch every show in order to catch the shit.
And with this conversation, right now, I can honestly say at this point in time, if you just watch one AEW show, just one in real time, not even go back 5 years, you can see us on you'll see us on the television screen. So
Anika?
come on now.
I
Yes.
don't know if you checked what I sent to the Discord, but I'm going to show you all a picture. Dreams do come true.
I
Put it
know.
down.
I saw that. I did see that.
I
And
was
yeah.
like, please, let this be like a thing, like a cruise.
Like case in point, Mace in Marseille, but like they were not doing any of this on WWE, and now they're again in the Indies and they're flourishing. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, to conclude it, right?
Same thing with Ali. Ali's flourishing.
Like if you don't have, it can't just be one voice in the creative room. It can't be one voice in the recruitment room. You have to listen to different voices because sometimes yours is dead wrong and you miss out on great talent. And we're not asking for a handout. We're not asking for special treatment because the talent is there. Like
Is
you
there a
can't
lack
tell
of
me
diversity in wrestling writing rooms?
what. Well, my mind. This is where my mind goes. That's why I said it right. When Awesome Kong was in WWE, and she had to take a break because she got pregnant. She had this. She did this promo, and she was like, "I did a tryout," and JR said that I couldn't. That he didn't think I was recruitable because he thought I was too fat. And for me, thankfully, I saw her in TNA, and I'm like, I saw how great she is. So that crazy notion, if, because you listen to JR, you missed out on what 5-6 great years of Awesome Kong being in your establishment, and then you flip it to NXT, and you had Dusty Rhodes, who pointed out talent that no one else did. He went to Keith Lee, and he gave him the notion of, baby, you got something that we can just bask in. And that's where you got bask in his glory. And that's two different spectrums of wrestling. And that's why you need multiple voices. And you ask me, are there multiple voices? I don't think so. I don't think so. And this new struggle with creative, it can be either great or blow it up and start from scratch. But that's why you need multiple voices, because you're going to miss out. And one voice, and it can't even, like, sometimes you're just narrow-minded, and sometimes you just miss it. But you need multiple voices in each room so you don't miss it.
That's the thing with WWE. Like, they have plenty of writers, but they don't have many in creative. Like, you got Shawn Michaels, you got William Regal, and who else do you have? Who else is behind the scenes? Because, like,
Road Dog.
Mark Henry's gone.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't.
They let go of most of their people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most of those creative minds, the ones who would give their opinions on talent, are gone. But I mean, I will say that they left during the Vince years. So, but like, they're not there now. Like, who do they have? Really? Who do
they have?
They have Abyss. They have Abyss.
But are they really using the Abyss?
Probably.
I know
not.
he does some stuff, and they do have what was Chad Gable's tag team partner, Jordan. I want to say Jordan Grace so bad, but I know I said it. Jason Jordan. He is writing for Raw.
Is it like the Tyson Kidd situation where like they make matches? They're not really a part of creative, but they make the matches.
Well, it depends. I just know that little stint of great Chad Gable going up against Gunther in the lead up to him, they said Chad Gable was working with him in all his matches and creating that story. Now, I'm not sure if it's multiple stories, but I know that story he helped. But even though it's like, hey, look at it. It's great. Put him on someone else. It's not just because they're tag team partners. He actually has a mind for wrestling and he knows what he's doing.
Oh, they also got Mike McGillicuddy, Curtis Axel. Sorry, his NXT name popped into my head before his main roster name.
But to take us on home, because I'm about to fall asleep.
Sorry.
And I don't want to hear them snores. in short, we'll be here next year to talk about Black wrestling again. Hopefully, it's even better.
I mean, we can talk about it interspersed throughout the year. We don't have to
We
wait.
will, but we're gonna focus on the heavy topic.
Punk ass
during
Phil.
this month. But hopefully next year, writers, bookers, the world has evolved to see us as more than just the stereotypes and the people that you push for 5 minutes. We'll see. Yeah, Grizzly Young Vets are doing amazing. Until next time, ALW, wrap it on up.
All right.
See y'all next time.
Peace.